afternoon, Valley pet lovers. Welcome to Pets on Parade, which is brought to you by 3TV. I'm Ashley Goebel from the Arizona Humane Society.
And I'm Megan Franks. Thanks so much for joining us today. Well, there's no shortage of cute pets to show you on the show this week, including Handsome here. We'll tell you more about this good-looking pup and the Golden Retriever during our Breed of the Week. Plus, our emergency animal medical technicians rescued Remington in his most desperate moment. Hear this sweet dog's story of survival later on in the show. And it's kitten season, so we'll give you some tips on what to do if you happen to find a stray litter.
But first, it's National Volunteer Appreciation Week, and the Arizona Humane Society relies on volunteers to help with everything from showering pets with love to advocating in the community. And last year, these amazing animal lovers dedicated over 327,000 hours to helping our homeless pets. Now, besides Megan and I, the Pets on Parade team is made up entirely of volunteers. Bree not only helps on the show, but also serves as a mascot for Humane Eddie at community events. Of course, you know Lisa Futo. Not only does she appear on the show each week to tell you about adoptable pets, but she also donates her time to disentangling hundreds of matted dogs and cats, relieving them of discomfort, boosting their spirits, and offering them a fresh start as they enter their new homes. And you all know and love Perry Fanzo, but what you may not know is that when he's not on TV sharing pet rescue stories, he's walking shelter dogs and matching them with the perfect families. But what you may not know is there are many volunteers behind the scenes of Pets on Parade, and the show couldn't go on without Sandy, Frank, Terry, and Kathy, who work their tails off every week to make sure every pet is ready for their TV. Here's a look at what goes on behind the scenes. To work with each and every one of those volunteers.
All right, well, let's meet some adoptable pets this week. First up is Kikyo. Her name means bellflower in Japanese. And Perry, I hear this Alaskan Husky knows what it means to mush.
Yeah, and you could be looking at the next Iditarod champion right here. Well, maybe not in Phoenix, Arizona, but how about pulling a skateboard or a pair of rollerblades? I think Kikyo could handle that. This is a very, very active doggie, and she's a 6-month-old puppy, so even more active. Just a beautiful husky, though. This doggie came into us with the parvovirus. Now, a lot of people, when they hear parvo, that's not a good word to be hearing around animals. And it used to be the case that it was pretty fatal, and it's still very serious. But in our ever attempts to save the lives of more and more animals, the Arizona has established the puppy parvo ICU ward. And little Kikyo here came from that. She was treated for quite a long time, actually. She is 100% healthy right now. Look at her. She is stunningly beautiful with those blue eyes. The picture of health right now, all thanks to the efforts of the Arizona Humane Society and your donations that made that possible. She's a gorgeous doggie. Do a little thinking with this one, though. She is young, and she's at that teenage years right now. She's going to be a lot of fun. She's a beauty, and she's got a great personality. This is Kikyo.
Thanks, Perry. The Compassion with Fashion Paws in Paradise was truly a day where the sun shined on pets in need, and over 1,250, sorry about that. Guests came into the Phoenician and enjoyed a seated luncheon and a fashion show with trends from my sister's closet. All 21 of the four-legged runway models found their forever homes, and we raised a record-breaking $928,000. That's enough to help us care for nearly 1,100 homeless animals. Now, this outgoing kitty befriended a group of kids at a skate park in Mesa. Bree, tell us about Phantom.
Oh my goodness, what a delight she is. She's purring. She's a little nervous here in the studio, but she is just purring away, and she's letting me rub her, and she's really enjoying it. She was found at a skate park, and these skateboarders were watching her, and she was watching them. So I think she's on to the tricks of skateboarding for sure. But the skateboarders were kind enough to bring her into the Arizona Humane Society so she could be checked out and make sure she's all nice and healthy. She's ready to be adopted. She needs a loving family, and she's one of many kittens right now we have available at the shelter. So definitely consider coming on in and either meeting Phantom or another kitten in your family.
More than half of the animals that arrived at the Arizona Humane Society are in need of medical treatment, and last year our medical team treated over 11,000 animals in our Second Chance Animal Trauma Center. Benefited from the life-saving care he received in our trauma center. Perry, tell us this guy's story.
Well, found wandering around the streets of Scottsdale, a Good Samaritan brought this guy in to us, or EAMTs were called. And, you know, they are specially trained to stabilize an animal in the field. They're not just ambulance drivers, and that was very, very important in a lot of cases. In Rupert's case here, his eye was very, very badly damaged. Took a look at it and determined it was actually quite an old injury. It was kind of crusty and not really looking very good, so it had to be removed. And here he is now, though. He is just a wonderful, wonderful boy. He is the favorite of staff and the adoptions volunteers. You can see how he loves to kiss. He is a cuddly guy, and he is beautiful. And again, thanks to those EAMTs who do, like you said, 11,000 calls a year in rescuing guys like Rupert right here.
The month of April is Prevention of Animal Cruelty Month, and Buddy hasn't had an easy life. Our EAMTs rescue thousands of pets every year from deplorable condition, and so begins the story of Buddy. Lisa, tell us about this little guy.
Well, Buddy here is looking beautiful now, but he wasn't quite so fortunate when some concerned neighbors called our EAMTs, and they actually were routed through the Phoenix PD. Buddy here was abandoned in the backyard, and the neighbors were concerned that he was getting thinner and more matted, and they were worried because the family had not returned for Mr. Buddy here. So our EAMTs rushed out to the scene. Those are always emergency calls. Luckily, when they got there, Buddy greeted them at the gate with a tail wag, and after scarfing down a full bowl of food and some water, they rushed him back to our Second Chance Trauma Center to be checked out by our veterinarians. Luckily, this sweet boy was up for a mercy groom and a bath and plenty of full meals. He was put on a little feeding schedule because he is on the thin side now, so that we fed him regular small meals during the day to get his stomach used to eating again. But Buddy is checked out, healthy, and he's back to a normal. Could use a few extra meals, but he is happy, healthy. He's got a new haircut. He may look like a little terrier, but he is very, very soft. We don't know quite what he's mixed with, maybe poodle, very soft and fluffy. Once his hair grows in, he is going to be just a gorgeous family member. Very happy 4-year-old Buddy.
Well, Teddy was found as a stray with 2 broken legs and was brought to our trauma center for homeless pets. After several weeks of treatment and a few complicated surgeries, Teddy is now able to stand and walk slowly, and the child lover, Susan, offered to foster Teddy and intends to adopt the sweet dog through our Homeward Bound program. You can see all of the special needs pets who are looking for a Homeward Bound placement by visiting azhumane.org/homewardbound.
Well, young dogs need lots of playtime and activity, but Shada's owner didn't have much time to spare. And Perry, this big-eared doggy ended up at our shelter in need of a new home.
Right, Megan. Sometimes, you know, the duties of being a parent to small children, having full-time jobs with both parents is a little too much. So that's why Shata's with us. The good side of this story, though, is they used to take Shata to doggy daycare a lot. And so this dog is super, super well socialized with other dogs. So if you're looking for another pal for a doggy at home, Shata might be the one for you. Not a big fan of cats, and she probably should be going home with some slightly older children. But she is one very active doggy, very, very pretty, kind of like a shepherd kelpie mix of some sort. Nice size, good running partner, good jogging partner. Going to be great family doggy, I think. Come on down and ask us to show you Shata.
All right, well, stay with us. Check out the latest summer pet gear and meet some adoptable pets from our Petite Retail and Adoption Center when we come back.